Good afternoon, fellow Biafrans. This is the 15th day of December 2022. I just want here to drop a very quick one, okay? I want to encourage every Biafrans to be very, very, very resolute and focused. The difference between us, the Biafra people, and those that are blackmailing and propagating all manner of falsehood against us is that they are two-faced people, corrupt, very unbalanced people, and we are not two-faced. These people that are parading and spreading all this falsehood against us are those who believe in Biafra and they believe in Nigeria. So what they do is that they are the agent of P2B, whom they want to use as a pedestrian to cross to the other side of wealth. We are not here for that. We are here for complete freedom of Biafra people after many years of subjugation and slavery under the Nigeria state. So forget them, disregard them, tagging me terrorist, tagging me agent of Nigeria, tagging me all manner of names. One thing is very certain. After the 25th of February 2023, they will all come back to us. That is to prove that they are two-faced. So when what they are doing is failing, or when it has failed, they will come back and start praising us. The man they are calling terrorist today, just because of it is politically motivated blackmail, they will turn out tomorrow to say that you that have joined this movement, you are a hero because you have not deviated and you are not derailed. No matter the name they call you today, I call upon you, the Biafran people, to be very strong. We have never, ever gotten it right this way. This is the time. The foundation that is holding that evil entity, corrupt entity, terrorist entity called Nigeria is shaking. And we'll finally break it in 2023. Every Biafran must be very, very strong. Go to every media where they are propagating these lies and blackmail and defend Biafra. Thank you.
Democratic Republic of Congo. That's you.
Oh, sit down, sit down.
Democratic Republic of Congo. That's you.
Oh, sit down, sit down.
I don't want to give, any credential, to whatever they are saying. it doesn't distract from the fact that, I was at the convention. I was invited properly, and have an honored guest, position. So, who are they that I have need to prove anything to them? I was there, and what's their business? Is that about the high unemployment in this country? Is that about lack of food on the tables and in the kitchen of the poor? Is that about electricity that they cannot even properly privatize, blackmailing the honorable minister and forcing somebody to resign because they want to turn it to family patrimony? Is that the cause of infrastructure that is lacking in this country? Is that shouldn't we even share knowledge, acquire knowledge, to really understand, what a nation needs?
How prepared are you for next month's election in Ondo State?
We are very, very prepared. The candidate is working hard. The party is working very hard. All our structure are in place. And as long as the election is well monitored, policed, and controlled, we are very sure of victory.
First batch is 25. How solid is the state financially to ensure that none of them will be abandoned?
We put our priority right. We first of all engineer our finances. It will be slow in gestation because people are not, naturally will not respond to new creative method of financing. But this is what, this is an innovation, and equally the standard of this building that we are bringing is another pace-setting program for those schools. The funding is not there to take everything in one go, but by managing a good cash management method, we are not going to hold nobody, and we are not going to abandon no project.
Your Excellency, sir, a project like this has to be sustained by teachers who can actually face the challenge. Do you plan to train your teachers to make them meet the standard of education and educational goals?
We will continue to upgrade the teacher training program. Equally, we are going to hire more teachers. Okay? Those who are on temporary appointments will be converted to have job security. This is part of the government program. Put the teacher and the people first. Equally, we will have training the trainers program in information technology. I don't study the anthropology of it. Where are we? No. Political power is not going to be served in a restaurant. It's not served in a la carte. It's what we are doing. It's being determined to do it. At all costs, fight for it, grab it, snatch it,
Yes,
and run with it.
yes, Jagaban. Jagaban. Yes.
The country is going through a very strong phase of reform. And this reform is taking a very bold and hard decision. For example, you might be hearing from whom now in the last few days
about fuel prices. But can we help it? Can we develop? You use their good roads there. You see electricity being constant. You see water supply being constant and running. What is the critical path to get us there? If we cannot take hard, painful decisions to pave the way, now is to provide the leadership that is necessary. And I'm committed to that. It's not all about politics. If you are afraid of taking the hard decision when it is time to do it, you probably will not be able to build a national consensus any day, anytime.
People protested when I was governor. They even caused strike. They shut down our schools for months, our hospitals for months. Well verified. We need more transparency. And when you talk about transparency in terms of figures, you show it, you elucidate it. Figures are not 1 + 1 is 2. It's not something you say it's just 2 because of. Tell us how we arrived at it and we'll believe. And when we talk about subsidy, as continuously said, if we are removing subsidy, what are we replacing it with? Where are we applying that subsidy we removed to? So if you say to me, I've removed subsidy, I'm going to use it to build this number of classrooms, to be able to pull out of school children into school, so we can verify and follow and track those schools. We have issue in health, primary health care, especially issue of infant mortality. Removal of the subsidy will enable us to build this number of primary health cares in different, so that we can measure it. So you don't remove something without saying what is replaced and where are we moving our money to. Or it's helping us to manage our debts. This is it. But here we have fuel subsidy removed, the debt is increasing, and we're not seeing anything. We have to continue our journey on democracy. It's government of the people, for the people, and by the people. However, we need to tweak it where we have some level of parliamentary system in it, like it's in South Africa. So we need to deal with issue of more scrutiny in our expenditure, in our borrowing, in efforts to be able to ensure that our scarce resources is prioritized to areas of urgent need for development, from security, food, all those areas, education. I'm not preoccupied about 2027 election. I'm preoccupied by Nigeria sitting today and having a better life. I've said it before, my politics is not about the election. I am not desperate to be president, and I don't want to. What I want to hear is that fuel prices are coming down, bread is getting cheaper, Nigerians are not. You cannot be talking about 38 million Nigerians facing hunger, and I'm talking about next election. Let's talk about hunger. Let's talk about managing our resources today. Let's talk about doing the right thing, the right behavior, showing example to the younger ones, growing up that we're leaders. I've said that everybody, they have right to protest. I've said it before. I would discuss with every protester. They even want government months before they did that. I would sit down and discuss with them. People protested when I was governor. They even caused strike. They shut down our schools for months, our hospitals for months. Well verified. I was talking with them. I didn't come down. I have never as a politician, as a governor, for one day, go and ask any policeman, say, please, stop somebody. Talk less of arresting the person. It shouldn't be. In a democracy, people have right to say no. I've said it every day. If I'm managing this facility and everybody loves me, I will resign. This is me. Wherever I am, I believe that I have enemies. My job is to convince them. If everybody loves Peter, there's a problem. There's people who hate me because I'm just Peter. They don't even need to give me any reason. It is my job to convince them on why it should be. I convince the teachers why we should return schools to missionaries, and they've seen the result. I convince them why we should go to the missionary facilities, the Ministry of Health, and build school of nursing and midwifery. You just have to. It's a constant thing. That's why you're a leader. You're a communicator. You listen. You talk to the people. It's not a question of what the young ones. I'll meet them. The agitators, the protesters. I will be talking to them.
You think leadership is a common case? No. Esther said, if I perish, I perish. Whenever you are in leadership, look at what happened to Donald Trump. In America, where security is everywhere. Yet, 2 times now they wanted to kill him. Every profession has its own risk. If you're not willing to take the risk that is attached to any profession, step aside so that people who are given that mind by God will go ahead and serve God in that capacity. If you're an actor and an actress and you say you're not going to hug babes and you're not going to kiss them, step aside. Because that's what the job is. Don't come and say you're a born-again Christian. That's what the job entails. If you're a politician and you can't stand for your people that voted for you, and because you don't want to die, step aside. Because that's what the job entails. Any politician that is not behaving like Simfubara, who will resist and protest when his rights are trampled upon, knowing that our judicial system, knowing that our electoral system have failed us, that any politician who will not stand his ground, no matter the risk to his person, I said I will not speak for that politician again, and I maintain it. And you can see what is happening, because we can't go forward. We calm down. If Simfubara has been saying calm down, do you know where Rivers State would have been? He said he's ready for them. He's fully prepared. The election must go on. The election must hold. Winners must be declared. They will be sworn in. And whatever is going to happen, let it happen. I am looking for leaders who would say nobody will rig my election, and if you rig my election, I will fight. Nigerians, come out and fight. If they kill anybody, let them kill all of us. Oh yes, and thank God I'm seeing it happen. What Fubara did, was he advocating for violence? Was he advocating that the law should be broken? No. He was advocating for his right. That's my opinion. That's my advocacy. We must advocate for our right and stand by it. I did not disqualify anybody. I don't have that right. I said I am not going to speak for anybody going forward except this person meets this criteria. In any case, we have finished 2023 election. It's over. 2027 election has not come. So anybody who is saying betrayal, what am I betraying? There is nothing on ground. When I was a spokesman in 2023, I did my job creditably well, and we convinced Nigerians on what we believe is right. But you can see that in Nigeria, you not only have to have the power to win election, you have to have the power to defend your election. So anybody that does not have that spirit or power to defend the votes in a manner that you would say, whatever happens to me as a person, let it happen. I am not willing to speak any further for the person. So what I just simply said is that going forward, I will no longer be part of this. until these fears are addressed. So I did not disqualify anybody. One, I don't have that power. Then two, I am not betraying anybody because I'm still a member of Labour Party. And you can see I'm still fighting that Labour Party should be consolidated because Nigerians are looking for an alternative to these people. That if you want to fight these people who are compulsive thieves and who are the worst amongst us, leading us, according to Senator Ndume, who is part of them, then you have to grow higher and be more aggressive than calm down. That's what I said, and I stand by it. In all honesty, I would have said we don't. But because I'm a student of theology, I would not say so. Because when Elijah thought he was the only person that was worshiping God, God said, no, you're not the only person. There are more than 7,000 persons like you still in that country that have not done anything evil. I know them. So the only thing we have to do in this country, we must not be sentimentally attached to anybody, any politician. We must not be loyal to political parties or politicians. We have to be loyal to the country and to the law. And if any law is unjust, we have to fight the law. If anybody is doing anything illegal, no matter who the person is, we have to fight the person. So in Nigeria, we must create the environment so that those 7,000 that we do not know who are leaders will be able to begin to emerge. If the good ones keep quiet, they will never emerge. When people say people are selling their votes, you know why they are selling their votes? Because they believe that even if they vote their conscience, it will not count. Not because they want to be corrupt. They saw what happened in 2023. I was an active participant in that election of 2023. They did not sell their votes. But after, it did not count. So they'll be like, why would I go and say I'm voting for my conscience when it will not count? If I'm going to take this money, at least it will be what I gain. So if we don't fight, we are
desperate to see Nigeria war.
No, be desperate.
And because I'm inside, I know it is presently a criminal enterprise. I must dismantle. And that's how Africa is. Because as governor, I can take my state money and come here and buy a house. Buy a house all over the world that I don't need. So that's what we need to dismantle. If we dismantle it, it will work. There's no reason why we should be where we are. Today, secondary school penetration in Nigeria is 28%. China is 90%. It shouldn't be. We can do more.
So we are waiting.
You are watching feudalism being institutionalized in broad daylight. Feudalism thrives on impunity. It does not thrive on the rule of law. That is what you are seeing institutionalized. Law does not matter and cannot and must not matter if feudalism must reign. And that is what has happened. What all the people who have helped to institutionalize this madness would have found is that they have helped to promote the reign of evil. Because if this evil is condoned in relation to one, it is institutionalized in relation to all.
One of the greatest selling points of Edo as a state is our very rich cultural heritage. The Benin Empire is domiciled in the state. And it's unfortunate that for the past 8 years, we have had a governor who has not leveraged on this historical reality. Rather, his actions have tended to create division and disrespect. In Senator Monday Okpebolo, we have a young man who appreciates tradition, who appreciates that in his state we have an Oba whose reign dates back to decades and centuries. And he has shown so much respect to our Oba. And that is why for many of us, we also believe that he deserves our respect. A governor who has divided our states by disrespect for tradition cannot be the kind of governor that will be suggesting to us who will succeed him. Edo State needs a governor that understands the tradition of our people, that respects traditional institutions, because we are nothing without our heritage. We want a governor that will continue in that mode, that will show respect, that will be able to communicate with our people. Not a governor who can be fluent in other languages, but in our own languages cannot speak the language. That's an insult to us as a people. That is why we take pride in the nativity of our candidate. When people want to deride him, we're happy, because we see him as an Edo man. And Edo men have nothing to be ashamed about. We have a rich culture. And in the new government we are bringing to pass, we are hoping that that culture can become the beginning of a new renaissance, can be a springboard to bring our people, even in the diaspora, to come back home with joy and invest in the upliftment of our state and kingdom. Our candidate is loyal to the Benin people, is loyal to the palace. And we pray that God will continue to keep our Oba. Oba Atokpe is